today we're gonna be doing reaction to the new the new iDubbbz content cop about H3. I've seen some clips, and I've seen the cringe and the low cows that are part of it, and it's. I just want to react to the whole thing. I'm probably not even gonna edit it. I'm probably gonna straight out shoot it. I don't know yet.
Destination, the beach is surprisingly dangerous. Consider the
fucking thing in our defense. Like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far, because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people.
What we do here is go back.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hassan broadcast coming to you live from a cloudy day here in California,
So I'm just gonna say, the fact that he's making a content cop with someone that he would make a content cop on, and is one of the biggest low cows on Twitch right now. It's pretty funny, and ironic at the same time.
Los Angeles, we're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one, because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's content nuke, and I'm not going to call it context puke as I normally do, because the reality of the matter is it was brilliant. Nothing was out of context. Everything was correct. I am an Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist. I am a vicious anti-Semite. It's true. Most importantly, Ethan is more attractive than me, both physically and also mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the content nuke. And he was right about that too. How did he know everything? How?
We know he hasn't watched it. We know.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is
I don't even know why Dan is He's kind of irrelevant. And it's coming from me. Someone with like, what, 15 subscribers.
nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up.
Yeah, Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up. I want a sandwich.
Ethan, wake up.
Holy shit, guys. They got Jabba the Hutt to join. Let's go, Star Wars fans.
Wake up, Ethan.
Ethan, wake up.
I don't even know who this guy is. Apparently, he's one of Ethan's haters. I don't know.
Wake up.
Since anyone?
Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
I'm the same. Nobody's told you to wake up, Ethan.
Yummy, I love Sabra hummus.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
Dude, he has nothing but locals on it. Denim, Jabba the Hutt, Dude, I don't even know. And the biggest one of them all, fucking Hassan. It's fucking funny. He would have made videos on these guys like if he was still like iDubbbz. And I understand artists change, creators change. But iDubbbz changed for the West. That's why like his boxing event last year failed. Because he did the opposite of what he should have done. I'm gonna be back. And I'm pretty sure the only reason he's doing this is because fucking Ethan made a content nuke that was better than his fucking content cop. And I'm saying this, and I'm not the biggest Ethan fan. Have not liked him for the better part of a decade. I like this little redemption arc he's going on, and actually like instead of just saying random shit, he's actually being a little bit more factual and being a little bit more level-headed. I like that about him currently, but I honestly think it's a well-deserved turnover.
All right. I didn't plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. H3 content cop, iDubbbz. Ethan Klein's out of control. And then you should do a content cop on Hassan Piker. Content cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot, it's Ethan. He's the...
Actually, over the past like years, you're the one losing it now. He's the one gaining the plot, you're the one losing it.
one who fucking attacked first.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Ethan Klein. I know some of you have been following him, but there's a lot of people who might not be familiar with the background, with his podcast, with what's been going on over the past couple of years. So Ethan, as you know, is a content creator who has a podcast where he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different controversial characters. He's had a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with Hassan Piker.
Which that show fucking sucked. And the one with Trisha Paytas was even worse.
In doing so, he's gathered a ton of different audiences. Now, in his podcast with Hassan, Leftovers, they would mostly talk about surface-level progressive shit and make fun of right-wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their dick once at least?
Oh, that's 100 shavers. You trans women. I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living conditions by...
I doubt it. Dude has been saying out-of-pocket shit. And then when he gets called out for it, he either ignores it or he crashes. Sorry, I ate some spicy fucking shit. Got me a chicken sandwich. They already had jalapenos in it. and I put some hot sauce on it. My throat's fucking burning.
The state of Israel, America's greatest ally and the only democracy in the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, the dance he invented was so kick-ass.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that may be a war crime. It literally is.
I was just eating the toppings, and the pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021.
Why?
It's insensitive to burn victims.
I think it's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan was not prepared for this. Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine, you know. We don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously caught in this tricky situation where he is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel. On the other hand, he's just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hassan.
To say politically savvy and then they follow Hassan, it's got to be the worst sentence. It's not even Hassan is politically savvy. Like he's pushing people from his side away from him. One of them is Dean, who he like went in the car with him, and even Dean was like, "The fuck is this guy on?" Like, I don't like using the term boomers too much because it's like whatever. I'm in the millennial age. I'm hitting that area where I'll be pretty much in boomer territory in the next like 15, 20 years. But even I'm not that out of touch. Like I think it's around the same age as I am. Maybe a little bit older. But he shouldn't be that out of touch, especially for someone who does social media and content creation. Oh god, it's weird, man. It's a weird front that I'm only like on the outside of content creation, or like I'm new to this. Like I've done music since I was in high school. I've toured. I've done shit like that. Now I'm kind of like going into like the VTubing space because I always enjoyed it, and I feel because of what I feel like I'm more well equipped than this guy, and I haven't been doing this for long. So I don't know what that says about this entire video.
Hassan is strictly a political streamer, so this is something they're
Hassan is a crybaby.
Very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're gonna call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience that Ethan has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it not on Leftovers, he's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, crazy, like Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hassan, all of these different people. He's finding new...
Hey, I kind of match his background. I just noticed. I could just be like a little doll, like somewhere next to that light or stuck between that pipe to the furnace. Yeah, that would be me.
People every day
just creeping.
Basically to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb. Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits. And everybody thinks this guy's awesome, apparently. Even though he looks like Millhouse. Fucking dork.
He does look like Millhouse. Fuck. Roasted!
Denims, by the way, was the real villain of the video. Evil, hateful fucking... And I'll say it and I'll double down on it. And people... Oh, no? Did I not go there?
And it's all culminated, at least... for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing him.
Dude, the only person that actually needs help besides Hassan, because he cannot take criticism for shit, is you in this situation because you've gone on like a downward spiral. I've seen the clip of you going therapy, but it doesn't seem like it's helping because you're continuing this downward spiral. Doesn't help who you keep around as well.
Other creators.
Cough, cough.
Maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach. I've occasionally thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hassan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like iDubbbz. He's a good guy, but I don't like this stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. And also he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there.
Yeah, he's out of plus the age wouldn't go well. It'll be like a 1 round at the most with Hassan winning, and then people will call it staged, and then it will cause like a fucking culture war because they'll be like, "Oh, Palestine won, how I take that." That's dumb. That's even a dumb joke. Even I'm like breaking it apart. I'm like, that's a dumb joke.
I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. And one of those circles is an H3 fan. He watched Ethan's content, he liked Ethan's content, until he didn't like Ethan's content. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not going to endorse it, I'm not going to retweet it or like it, but fair enough.
I guess I just missed my old friend. Some wings are too bird feathered colored.
Now that brings us to February 28th of this year. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that iDubbbz's former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does Ethan get this information from? You see, it would be very obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with. He has maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information, and that would be horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be sending you things that are entertaining for your show that don't fucking trigger the hell out of you. Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting on the Reddit, when there's no work being put into who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place? If you do a little bit of research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history, and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges. This is within Ethan's own community. Like, this is the thing that he needs to be critical of.
I actually agree with this. They shouldn't be like posting this because they give more like eyes on it, and then it gets to Ethan, and then Ethan crashes out. Like, he said a bunch of heinous shit. Even I've seen those fucking tweets, and I don't even follow H3 at all. I just see them because it's like relevant to what my algorithm says from what I watch on YouTube and share and post, and it's all intertwined, man. And I've seen it, and I'm like, why are they even sharing this? Like, this shouldn't be shared. No one needs to see that. Let this guy scream into the abyss and the void, fall from, like, burn bridges himself for, like, crashing out, and leave it at that. But no, they want to share it. They want to make sure Ethan sees it. And then Ethan looks like a dumbass. That's not what you should do. I agree with this point, though.
It's not me, so yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast, so I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch and respond to the 2 podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and IDub's feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not going to throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not going to throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
See, my only thing is, if you see someone doing something shitty to someone you consider a friend, you either tell them, it's like, yo, cut that shit out, or be like, do it in a place where I don't fucking see it. And then if the other person is like, yo, aren't you going to defend me? I'm like, dude, I'm not in this fight, but I did talk to him saying, I don't want to see this shit. I'm not part of this. Leave it somewhere else. If not, done. That's how I deal with things. If I'm having 2 people that I know beef, they either keep me away from it or I leave and until they fucking figure it out. So I can also see Ethan's side for like thinking iDubbbz is approving this, so he shouldn't be like drawing conclusions from this one random Twitter user. Okay, former editor, cool. Doesn't mean they're like best fucking friends. So I can see both sides of the argument. I was Ethan, I would have just gone after the guy. Leave iDubbbz's name out of it because it would have caused more unnecessary drama, and we don't fucking need that shit. If you're already fighting a war against Hassan and his zombie followers, then you focus your energy on that. Don't bring in other people who aren't part of the problem. So I can see that side of the argument. I can kind of agree with iDubbbz, but I can also be on that side and be like, yo, you need to cut the shit out. As like, or Ghana H3 goes, hey, I've seen the shit he's posted. I told him to cut the shit out. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, that's what I can do. That's what I tried. You know? Show that you're a friend.
How many women I fucked? Hassan, by the way, thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry.
There are many people, I'm sure, who have unfollowed you for the things that you have said and done, and I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless. I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him on that one. You shouldn't jump to conclusions. It's stupid. You make yourself look like an ass when you're trying to fight a war. The social war, not really a war. And it's annoying.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like the #1 type of harassment I got, was people gaslighting me and taking my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I probably...
It wasn't that he took his woke to the extreme. You can be apologetic for the shitty things you've done in the past, but not be an ass about it. He was kind of being an ass about it. This is one movie, 10 years. This movie about 10-year reunion, had Channing Tatum, Chris Pratt, Oscar from Moon Knight. Forgot his last name. But Chris Pratt's character was an asshole in high school, and he went to apologize. He said, I was going to apologize. Gets super fucking wasted. Continues to apologize to the point where they hate him even more because he just won't leave them alone. And it's just like, okay, cool, you can be apologetic. Just apologize, move on. Don't make it a big thing, you know?
Done and stood by iDubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional. Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
But I'll say this, I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. And certainly, I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing.
In his research, Dr. Morrison identified a paradox. A moment.
Like, I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation. But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something about my former editor and denims. As much as you don't want halfway friends, I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum to have a conversation.
Could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Israel, go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything
and
like
I was
that.
supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't going to cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do we forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn
Never.
of Satan?
It's disgusting.
And
a
I
piece
mean,
of shit of a human.
it's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Unfortunately, they never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later?
The thing is, look, you have to come to, why would you talk shit about kids? I'm not the biggest fan of kids, other people's kids. I have nieces and nephews that I'm chill with. I have friends' kids that I'm cool with. Strangers' kids, I don't give a shit about. But I'm not going to call them like the spawn of Satan or a piece of shit. I'm just going to be like, if they're acting like assholes, I blame the parents because the parents are doing a shitty job raising them. So I don't know why he's trying to defend that when it common sense dictates that you should be like, no, this guy's kind of a dick. I don't know who this McIntyre guy is, but he seems like a dick. That's all I'm going to say on that matter.
Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time and that there was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with that. And what?
Also, I like how pretentious his name is on Twitter. The Adam. Like, I'm the Adam. That's so fucking pretentious, dude. That's cringe. I'm cringing.
It sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it. Huh. It's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him. And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends?
I can see the hypocrisy in that. He shouldn't have brought iDubbbz into it. Then iDubbbz most likely wouldn't have made this horrible fucking video.
With him, which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not...
And the only reason iDubbbz is making it, because it seems like he's hurt in his feelings about the shit H3 said. So it doesn't add to making a really good video, because you're doing it out of spite more than out of the need for it to be a thing. This video doesn't need to be a thing. I'm reacting to essentially a little bit of information and a bunch of nothing.
Not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh, yeah. And our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times, because, like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend you.
Check this out. I'm gonna show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, 100.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that
I
one?
mean, just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not going to run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people. We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
the problem.
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another.
Well, to be honest, the people you're following kind of put you say a lot about you, unless you're one of those content creators like Rev says this too, or fuck, who else I do? There's another one, Cheeto, who are like commentary YouTubers who pretty much follow the big YouTubers, gaming journalists, writers, stuff like that on Twitter just to kind of archive tweets to do it. Unless you're doing it for your job, that's fine. But if you're just following people, just follow people. That says a lot about you. I follow a bunch of VTubers on my Twitter just because I'm new to the VTuber space and I kind of want to learn. But that's it. That's the only thing I do. I just post the videos into the void. If I get views, I get views. If I don't, then whatever. I make meme tweets and I follow VTubers. That's it. If there is a VTuber who's acting a fool, then I'm just like, I'm not going to deal with that. But other than that, that's all I do.
The girl that stood up for you. Enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know.
Yeah. Which
she's
I'll show.
friends with
Denims is actually participating in this whole Child Protective Service lie.
Yeah.
Which I'll
and if
show
you're
you guys
friends with them, then you're saying what they're saying.
All I'm going to say is, I'll wait till.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit that's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan.
She's not. I've seen like videos about her. I've seen her clips. She's a horrible person and she's stupid because she doesn't know what she's talking about. She spoon feeds off Hassan and other people, reiterates it, and then like tries to use her OnlyFans, which I don't have a thing against OnlyFans, and that's like a lot of like their issue. Like even with Rev says Desu and Cheeto and people. The sensitive society who go after her and always use the OnlyFans angle. And I'm going to a ramble, but this is my take on it. I don't care about OnlyFans. You get your bag the way you get your bag. But taking advantage of the people who follow you because you know they're dumb enough to follow you. And then using that to kind of like take advantage of them and for them to pay for your OnlyFans, which is... I've seen the leaks because I was like curious about it because why would they pay? Aren't very good. It says a lot. Like it says a lot, and I'm not saying I'm the most attractive person. I'm fucking ugly, dude. Behind this VTuber persona, I am ugly as fuck. I'm like a Mexican too. It just says a lot. I don't give a shit about their OnlyFans. I think that argument's always invalid, and people who use it are stupid. Because get your bag, you know? It's America. Get your bag. But she's just straight stupid. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And the other attacks against her are kind of valid. Because she pushes narratives that aren't there. If it's someone she doesn't like, she'll just easily go along with it. And if someone she does like, she'll like reach up into the stars to try to grab anything to defend them. And I think that's just, and it's all for clout. It's not because she really cares about these people. It's for clout. You can clearly tell when someone likes someone or is just using their name to do it. And she's using people's names to kind of push herself about, which again, go get your bag, but don't like try to act like you're the victim when you're like causing a lot of issues. You know, it's that type of mentality. Yeah. I didn't think I was going to get that deep into this.
Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation.
I think everyone here is kind of shitty people. I like Eden's redemption arc that he's starting to become a lot more serious. But he's still kind of acting crazy and just spitballing, throwing shit out. The contact nuke was actually pretty good. There were some things that I was like, about. iDubbbz is just shitty because he's making this video to spite Ethan, which I'm reiterating. And Dennis is just stupid. She's stupid, doesn't know what she's talking about, and it's just clout chasing. That's it. All shitty people. No one's good in this situation.
situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know. I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't.
You can. You just stay out of the fucking situation. You stay out of people squabbling. Not every one of your friends are going to like your friends. You just stay out of it. And be like, and if both of them are having issues with each other, they can't resolve it. They try to bring you into it, then you just fucking leave. Leave until they solve it. Leave until, or just drop them. Especially if it's internet friends like that. You don't need that kind of drama or attitude in your life. Like, doing this kind of bullshit, even I'm like, that's a bad move on H3's part. Like, I am a complete outsider of this. I used to follow H3 when they made funny videos. The podcast has been shit for years. Ian has been doing a lot of dumb shit until recently, but even then he's still crashing out like a little 5-year-old. Hila just kind of follows what her husband does and doesn't really push back that much against him, which is stupid. You should always be like, yeah, you're kind of taking shit too far. So I see where the resentment is. I can see it. It's stupid. Everyone in the situation acting like a 5-year-old.
So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately.
I don't know why he uses Steiny. Well, I can understand. Steiny's a piece of shit. I've seen his videos, and if there's a hot girl on his fucking videos, he just always sides with the hot girl. He's such a fucking simp.
Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are...
Like, he was simp for Emily, with the whole Dean and Emily bullshit. Like, I watched that, and I saw him, and I'm like, he's simping for like a 4. Like, what? What? And not using the term lightly. No, never mind. I'm heavily saying she's a 4. Like, yeah.
Or like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking... You're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. You're the Davil.
The last thing I said to Anissa...
I like the way you said Davil. It reminded me of Cruella de Vil. Yeah.
So we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
He doesn't have to do that, though. That's the thing. He doesn't have to fucking do that. Fucking childish. It's high school mentality, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well, then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus.
So many fucking...
And this is your brain when you're in the zone. But getting in...
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, oh, he doesn't work with us anymore.
Then
but that was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't
Okay, do you have
agree.
anything else to say for your friends, though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Like, yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach. I don't think we need to do it right now, but you've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
Like they say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
She actually.
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Again, I'm gonna reiterate. That's high school fucking mentality. Makes him look bad.
Go fuck yourself. What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support harassment. It's a bad thing, but it happens, and you're perpetuating it.
You fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of...
It can. I've seen some of the fucking threads on some YouTube, and it's just, it wouldn't even be related to the video, and it would just be an argument about the dumbest fucking thing. I'm like, how? And it will be like response, then a month later, another response. It will be like 4 weeks later, no, 3 weeks later, it will be a year later. And I'm like, how do you guys keep this? Like, I'm petty. I could be very fucking petty. But an entire year of this bullshit petty? Nah, dude, I got better things to do. Like play Kingdom Hearts and League of Legends.
Like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have ramifications in terms of how I conduct myself. In terms of these fair weather friends who are, you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack. Now, in fair...
To be honest, a lot of this could have just been done if they talked in the background, but it looks like Ethan didn't want to fucking do it without them publicly submitting to them, which I think is stupid.
I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted, and I feel defensive, and I feel like I am...
And that's why this video is so bad.
Speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you, and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist.
Mm-hmm.
Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much
Sorry.
do you actually care? Isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever. And it's not completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt, and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something, and it's saying fuck you, you guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, you know, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
Marching with the black students and...
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it inspiring?
Well, and it's the same thing, to bring it back to the song just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza
Yeah.
until I found out it's
Until
dangerous. He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
Ah, it's been performed exquisitely. Harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
Like people,
I will admit that he has a point. Ethan is just not letting this go. I understand why. Hassan sucks. He wants to call him out on every bad thing. But the thing is, he stretches it out for months. Hassan has one bad take. He'll stretch it out for months. Good. Video is kind of boring. He'll stretch it out for months and months and months and months. And I'm like, dude, just say your shit. I just move on to the next thing. But he just won't let it go. So I get it on that one.
people like Anissa are the perfect example because she's friends with these people. She's friends with Dennis.
Oh my fucking God, Ida,
Dennis
shut
is
the fuck up.
streaming
Even
this
I'm
story
starting to fucking hate
about
them.
our
I'll
kid
show that, yeah.
Again.
getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry, I'll accept this take, this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people's shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to Denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling you guys wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time. Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
She could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not.
To be honest, the shit Anissa has said in the past, you shouldn't be treating her like an adult as well. But she hasn't been in the limelight recently. But kind of kept, you guys have kept to yourselves, which I've noticed. And maybe she has done a lot growing up. So I haven't. I just remember Anissa from a year and a half ago, and how she was reacting to a whole bunch of dumb shit. But hey, people can grow within the year.
Not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for
But
saying
that would be
which
commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks for itself that saying, hey, their house is claimed, they're, they're actually good people, like that's going to get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the prompt is. No one would care. The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out. I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's
Yes, it
difficult
does.
and standing by your principles. That's the whole point. That's what makes standing by your principles admirable, is that it's not always easy.
Why are you saying that I'm not standing up for my principles when you don't even know what they are? I get, like, we're a little bit past directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my principles.